My legs were getting weaker every single month, and I thought that was just part of turning 73. Then I stopped 4 things. Not added, stopped. Within weeks, my legs felt stronger than they had in years.
No gym, no expensive program, no complicated routine. I want you to stay with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to share might sound simple, but it changed the way I move through my own home.
My name's Margaret. I'm 73 years old. And if lately your legs feel heavier than they used to, if you hesitate before stairs, if you automatically reach for furniture without thinking, drop the word steady in the comments right now. I read every single one. Because 2 years ago, I wasn't steady. I was careful. Too careful. It started slowly. I noticed I couldn't walk from my bedroom to the kitchen without feeling that strange heaviness in my thighs. By mid-afternoon, my legs felt like they belonged to someone else. Not painful, just unreliable, like they might not fully cooperate. I told myself, Margaret, you're 73. What do you expect? So I did what most of us do. I rested more. If my legs felt tired, I sat down. If I had already stood up once, I tried not to stand again unless I absolutely had to. I thought I was being smart, protecting myself. But after about 6 weeks of that, something bothered me. I wasn't getting worse dramatically. I was getting worse quietly. Standing up took more effort. I began turning sideways on stairs. I avoided the slope near my mailbox, and I didn't like the direction things were heading. I tried the usual suggestions. My sister suggested magnesium. I took it for a month. No difference. My neighbor suggested better shoes. I bought expensive, cushioned walking shoes. They were comfortable, but my legs didn't feel stronger. I even tried resting for an entire week. No long walks, no extra movement. That week made me feel weaker. That's when frustration set in. Not fear, frustration. Because I could feel that something was changing in my body, and I didn't know how to stop it. Then, one morning, I saw Helen. Helen lives 3 houses down from me. We've known each other for over 10 years. Nothing deep, just garden talk and holiday cookies. But that morning, she was walking differently. Not faster, just grounded. Her steps looked solid. I stopped her and said, "Helen, what are you doing differently?" She laughed and said something I will never forget. "Margaret, I didn't add anything. I stopped 4 things." That caught my attention immediately, because I was tired of adding things. She told me those 4 things right there on the sidewalk. I went home and started that same day, and I'm going to share them with you now. If you know someone over 65, a friend, a parent, a spouse, a neighbor, who's been struggling with weak legs, please share this video with them. Not because I'm asking for views, but because someone sharing something simple with me changed everything. Now, here's the first thing I stopped. I stopped sitting for long, unbroken stretches. I wasn't lazy, I just didn't realize how long I was sitting. I would sit in my armchair for 2, sometimes 3 hours straight, reading, watching television, scrolling on my phone. Helen said something that made sense immediately. She said, when you sit that long, your leg muscles switch off, blood settles, your legs forget they're needed. That phrase stayed with me, forget they're needed. So I started setting a quiet timer. Every 40 minutes, I stood up. That's it. I didn't exercise, I didn't stretch dramatically. I just stood up, walked to the kitchen, maybe filled a glass of water, and sat back down. 2 minutes total. The first 3 days, I noticed nothing. By day 5, something subtle changed. When I stood up, I didn't automatically reach for the armrest. By the end of the second week, that heavy afternoon feeling had reduced. Not vanished, reduced. And that's important. It felt believable. Now I don't sit longer than 40 or 45 minutes without standing. And my legs stay awake all day. If you sit longer than an hour without standing, type 40 minutes in the comments. That one habit alone might shift something for you. Now, the second thing surprised me. I stopped wearing thick, overly cushioned house shoes all day. I thought I was helping myself. Soft soles, arch support, padding everywhere. But Helen explained something simple. She said, if your shoes are doing all the work, your feet retire. And weak feet lead to weak legs. The whole chain works together. So I switched to thin canvas shoes inside the house. The first week, my feet actually felt tired, a little achy. That told me they had been asleep. By week 3, that discomfort disappeared. And something else happened. My balance improved, subtly. When I turned around in the kitchen, I didn't wobble. When I stepped off the porch, I felt more connected to the ground. If you wear thick house slippers all day, type awake feet in the comments. You might be surprised what changes. Now, the third thing was harder. I stopped avoiding small challenges. There's a slight slope near my mailbox. Nothing dramatic, but I had been walking around it for over a year, protecting myself. Helen said avoiding uneven ground trains your legs to be less capable. The small muscles around your ankles and knees only wake up when the ground isn't perfectly flat. Flat surfaces make big muscles lazy. So I started walking that slope, slowly, 3 passes every morning. The first week was uncomfortable, not painful, just effort. The second week felt manageable. By the end of the month, my legs felt more responsive than they had in years. Not young, responsive. That's the word. If you've been avoiding stairs or small hills lately, type "no more avoiding" in the comments. Now, the fourth thing was the biggest one. And I wish someone had told me this 10 years ago. I stopped leading with my hands. Every time I stood up, I pushed off the armrest first. Every time I sat down, I grabbed the table. Getting out of the car, door frame. Standing from the toilet, counter edge. My arms were doing the job before my legs even tried. Helen told me she realized her legs hadn't truly lifted her body in months. That thought bothered me. So I started pausing. When I stood up, I kept my hands on my lap, let my legs do the work first. The first few times felt unstable, I won't lie. But within 2 weeks, something shifted. My legs remembered what they were designed to do. Now I only use my hands if I truly need them, and my legs feel stronger because they're actually participating. If you catch yourself pushing up with your arms first, type "legs first" in the comments. That one habit alone changed more than anything else. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. My situation is worse. I have knee problems. I have hip pain. I hear you. I'm not telling you to ignore your body. I'm saying choose one, just one of these 4. Start with the sitting. It costs nothing. Give it 2 weeks. Don't judge it on day 3. Give your legs time to wake up. 2 months after I made these changes, Helen and I started walking together every Tuesday morning. Not fast, not far, just around the neighborhood, talking about our gardens, complaining about the weather. Last month, she said, "Let's take the steeper path today." I hesitated, then I nodded. We walked it, slowly, carefully, but when we reached the top, we both laughed. Not because it was dramatic, but because 6 months earlier, I would have walked around it. My legs are not 30 years old. They never will be, but they are mine again. They carry me without hesitation. They support me without argument. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, is worth more than any supplement bottle. If this video gave you even one small idea, drop the word "mine" in the comments. Because independence at 73 isn't about running marathons. It's about walking to your mailbox without fear. It's standing up without planning it. It's about trusting your own body again. And if you know someone, a friend, a spouse, a parent, a neighbor who's been quietly struggling with weak legs, share this with them. Not for views, but because sometimes one small shift is all it takes to change someone's direction. Sometimes all it takes is stopping the right 4 things and letting your legs remember who they are. If something I shared today resonated with you, if you're ready to feel steadier again, type the word "stronger" in the comments. I'd love to see how many of us are choosing not to give up.